Hey everyone, I'm Sal Sincata, and today we're going to check out the MagMod light modification system. All right, so here's the deal. If you use speed lights, right, you need light modification. So we're talking about snoots, we're talking about gels, we're talking about grids, and there's a plethora of tools on the market. Now, I'm not going to lie. Prior to this review, I had never worked with MagMod before. And so I was a little skeptical because I've had other tools in my bag, and we all have these crazy tools that are all over the place, each one promising to be better than the last. So when I got my hands on MagMod, and by the way, I've seen photographer after photographer singing MagMod's praise about what an incredible product it was, and I'm telling you, I was just like, yeah, whatever, just another light modifier. And then I got my hands on it. And so what you've got here is the main MagMod attachment. This will be what keeps all the modifiers interchangeable on your speed lights, right? So they're going to work with your Canon, your Nikon, pretty much any speed light you've got that fits that form factor. And then the beautiful part about it is you've got these powerful magnets built in that make adding these modifiers as easy as can be. So it's as simple as that to add the modification on. So you want a grid, right? You put your grid on, you're done. And as you can see, it's not going to fall off at all. Okay, this isn't coming off easily. Now just peel it off. Okay, what I like about it is the interchangeability of it, or the building of it, if you will. So if I want to put 2, 3, 4 grids on top of each other, they'll stack. Same for this. So now I want to add a gel, so I can put my grid on and then add a gel on top. It's that simple. Right, I could do it in the reverse, whatever your flavor is. And then I can keep stacking these things on top of each other. Now, let's say I want to put a gel, a grid, and then add a snoot. Done. So now your speed light has been gelled, gridded, snooted, and you are in complete control of your light. And what I like about the snoot as well is, first of all, okay, it'll fold up real nice and compact in your bag. And then when you put it on, depending on how much you pull it out, each one is giving you a different amount of light that's coming out of it. I mean, this is what's going to give you control in your bag. And so what we do is we've got 2 snoots in our bag. I'm a believer now. I've got 2 snoots, 6 grids, and 6 gels, because we've got 6 speed lights that we work with typically. And so what you're going to see is we're going to talk about a recent photo shoot that we did, right? So when I'm looking at stuff like this, it's not enough to just look at it and play with it. I want to use it in real world environments. And so I wanted to put this to the test. I used this on a recent Hilton Hotel photo shoot that we had, where we were in very close quarters with very limited environment, if you will. So we couldn't let light spill all over the place. We couldn't use our studio strobes, things that we would normally use. We had a very limited area that we can work in, so I had to control the light. So each one of these speed lights were equipped with the MagMod system, and some of them were gelled when we needed, but all of them were gridded for that shoot, so that we can pinpoint control where that light goes. Now, if you just like to use your speed light bare bulb, where you're just with no modification system on it, light's going to be everywhere, and that's not the look you're going for. And so you're going to see these 2 different shoots that we did using the MagMod system, and the results, I think, speak for themselves. So if you've not checked these guys out, I highly encourage you to. I don't want to go crazy and be like, this is the best modification tool on the market. Kind of is. But what I want to do is let you know that we're using it in our real world production. We love this tool. And the one thing I want to encourage you to get, if this is new for you, a new tool for you, you definitely want to get your hands on the grids, and you're definitely going to want to get your hands on the gels. And just one more point with the gel, super easy to use. So the gels come out, okay, and they come in this nice packet of gels, and you've got your CTO, your CTB, right, color temperature orange, color temperature blue, and then you've got a creative gel pack as well. So if you want to add a little bit more dimension to your shoot, throw a little color in the background, maybe a purple or a red, just add dimension to whatever you're doing. The creative gel pack is well worth the investment, but you definitely want to get your hands on, you know, the CTOs and CT blues, and then it's as easy to change them. And these are, I want to point out to you, I know it's hard, these aren't flimsy pieces of like vellum paper where they just crinkle and they get all broken up after time. This is pretty hard plastic. So this thing is going to stand the test of time, which I was really impressed with when I first took a look at it. And then you can see how easy it is to just insert a new color gel, and now it's in there. Boom, you're ready to go. So MagMod, I highly encourage you to check these guys out. Enjoy the shoot. That's what I'm going to show you next, so you can actually see how we're using this in a real world scenario. The first scene is a hotel scene, and we wanted to make it look young, active, and give it a more modern vibe. And so what we had to do was use 5 speed lights here, grid them, and gel them in order to give it that modern club vibe. And what you're looking at are unedited pictures. And so in this one, this is what it looks like with no strobe firing. Not very young, not very modern, not very exciting. I wouldn't want to go to a place like this. And so it's almost a sense of false advertising. And what I want to do is go back to the final image that we created to give you a better sense of the before and after. And like I said, we had to use 5 speed lights, each one gelled, firing up into the ceiling. And then one of those 5 were firing back into the crowd, giving it a blue wash. None of these images are edited at the moment. So what you're seeing is just right in Lightroom, a sense for the look and feel of each image. The next scene is at the same hotel, and as you can see, it is pitch black. There's no natural light in the room. This first image, if it looks black on your screen, that's because it is. Alyssa, my assistant, is sitting there as we set up 4 speed lights, 1 for each subject. And so there's one test light, and it's gridded so that we don't have light spill all over the place. But as you look at the scene, you can see the fireplace isn't very exciting. There's not much light there, and we're not creating the mood. In this final image, again, unedited, we've got 1 speed light with a grid on each subject, but then we're also firing a gelled speed light up into the brick fireplace to give it a little more presence and pop. The final scene is at Union Station. There's a lot of light in the room, but it's multicolored light, ceiling light, and we don't want to lose that with flash photography. This is ultimately what the art director was looking for. And so what we did in this scene is we set up 4 speed lights on nano stands, and what you're going to see now is a shot, and you see those speed lights in the frame, and 1 speed light is gelled and lighting each individual subject on the scene so that we don't lose the ceiling light. And in this final scene, you can see everything's now been we color corrected it for this video, but we're not losing any of that ceiling light, and we're still creating this mood and ambiance in the room. Again, from a marketing and advertising perspective, the hotel wanted something they could use in their advertising to really create this sense of girls' night out, or just girls going out for a drink, enjoying the venue at Union Station. So I hope this gives you some ideas of what is possible that you can do with the MagMod. I highly recommend you give these guys a shot. Well-made tool and very, very practical.